Hello from HW Group. In this video, we will go through some basic methods for troubleshooting the Perseus device. If you experience problems with your device, but it is still working, verify the firmware configuration. If the firmware is outdated, perform a firmware update. Next, check the state of the DIP switches. If DIP2 safe mode is on, you cannot modify the Perseus settings. Set the switches to their default state before proceeding. If the device does not work, follow these steps. First, check the LEDs. Identify which ones are lit to determine the device status. You can also try to locate the device using the HWg Config utility to change the core network parameters. If the device cannot be discovered via HWg Config, connect it directly to your PC. If the device still does not work, restore the default settings using the physical button on the device. If the problem persists, take a photo of the device tag and send it to HWg Technical Support. Now we will look at these procedures in detail. There are many LEDs on the device. On the Ethernet port, the green LED blinks while data is transferring, and the yellow LED indicates that the link is set up and stable. The solid green power LED is on when the device is powered. A solid red alarm LED indicates that a meter, variable, or condition is in an alarm state. If it is lit after startup, it means the default button is pressed and the device is waiting for the configuration to be restored. The green LTE LED is solid when an LTE connection is established and flashes while connecting or searching for a network. The WLD indicator has three color options: green when the sensing zone is OK, red when the zone is flooded, and yellow when the cable is disconnected. The status LED is lit when the device is waiting for a factory reset. The green input LEDs and yellow output LEDs are lit when the input or output is in the on state. Dip switch 1 is reserved for future use. When dip switch 2 is activated, the device enters safe mode, in which it is not possible to change the device settings. The default state for the dip switches is the off position, which is indicated either by an arrow or by the switch being on the side without the small white square. The Perseus device allows you to create a configuration backup. This backup includes all device settings and information regarding connected meters. To create a backup, open the Perseus web GUI, navigate to the System section, and scroll down to the Configuration section. You can download the configuration backup in either XML or zip format by clicking on setup.xml or setup.zip. Restoring a backup allows you to transfer all settings to your device after a firmware update if needed, or after loading factory defaults. To restore settings, go to the Firmware Update section, select your configuration backup file, and click Upload to apply the configuration to the device. Firmware updates can only be performed via the web GUI of the Perseus device. In the System menu, scroll down to the Firmware Update section. To perform an online update, your device must have an internet connection. First, click the Check for Update button. Ensure the upgrade server address is filled in. This action checks if a new firmware version is available. The system will display your current version or confirm that your firmware is up to date. If a new version is available, click Download and Upgrade. The device will download the new firmware, perform the upgrade, and automatically restart. If the device is not connected to the internet, you can update the firmware manually. First, download the firmware file from the HW Group website under Support, Downloads, Firmware. In the Upgrade Firmware section, click the File Selection field, choose the downloaded firmware file, and click Upload. You can use these same steps to update the firmware via the Remote Config feature on SenseDesk-based portals. To restore the device to its factory defaults using the physical reset button, follow these steps. Press and hold the default button, then connect the device to the power supply. Wait for 10 seconds until the alarm or setup LED turns off, then release the button. The device is now restored to its default settings. Another way to load factory defaults is by using the HWg Config application. Open the application, power cycle your Perseus device, turn it on and off, and click Find Devices. Once your device appears, select it and click the Load Defaults button. This process must be completed within the first 60 seconds after the device powers up, or the button will not be active. You can also load factory defaults through the device's web GUI. Navigate to the System section and scroll down. Click the Factory Reset button to perform the restoration. The device will restart and reconnect to the web GUI after a short time. That's all for today's video. Thank you for your attention.